Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for, I think, technically our first match of the night, as the official first match turned out to be a forfeit, unfortunately, but you got to see Rockerman humiliate himself on stream against Big Mur there as he took him down with the, what was it, the Mur flip, musty double, something like that, but it was great. It's fantastic. Now we're back here, your boy Psychonautic, ready to bring you back into this novice league. Pawns versus the Whelps, joined by the new guy around here, Matt. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty excited actually to watch this. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also pretty excited to watch this. I'm going to pull up the stats here a little bit because we've got a pretty interesting matchup here tonight. It's the 9th and the 10th seeds. We're on our day 2 of the play-ins. So this is a very precarious situation for these teams because the loser here goes home tonight and doesn't continue on. Their season ends. However, the winner gets to move forward to the lower bracket final and face off against Aurora on Saturday. The winner of that match will go on to get to play Frost, the number 1 seed, moving into the playoffs on Monday. So, Matt, all that to say, there is a lot to lose right here tonight.
Yeah, both teams are really gonna they're gonna try their hardest. They're gonna fight. They need to win this game. I mean, Pawns, they did a great job actually. If I'm just gonna go ahead and head into like stats, but the Pawns, their whole division made the playoffs, which or the play-ins and the playoffs. But I mean, that's pretty insane when you have that stacked of a division, and just a great job to the Vandals, Spitfire, Vikings, and Pawns for all doing that great.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Vikings also being in the play-ins, beating Aurora on Monday. If you weren't around for that, they qualified to go in as the 7th seed, I believe, and they'll be playing against Acceleration next week. But you're right, the Mountain Division in Novice was pretty fire this season. And I think that this is going to be a good matchup right here between Pawns and Whelps. Both of them have the same regular season record, 9-9. So it's going to be interesting. Do you know anything about any of the rosters of these two teams?
Uh, well, you had Speed from, I believe it was, yes, it was the Pawns. Speed was the sub for the All Star, the West team this season, but still made it on the team, which is a great accomplishment. But heading to like head to head matches, and unless I read this wrong, in week 8, day 15 was the only game that I found that they played each other. Was Whelps took the series 3-1, which that doesn't all matter now. That's just kind of a preview, I guess you could say, for this matchup here.
Yeah, and you're correct about that. They did only see each other one time, Whelps walking away with the 3-1 win there. And it may be a preview, it may not. We're definitely gonna have to see. But let me get from you, Matt. What is your caster prediction? Who do you think is gonna come out on top here, Whelps or Pawns?
Honestly, I got Pawns coming out in 5. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I feel like Speed's honestly going to put him up on top here. As I've seen Speed play like head to head against my team, and he's a very good player.
And we're gonna see if he can do just that as we get into this first kickoff. Remember, this is a best of 5 series. Whelps versus Pawns. Whelps got Control Alt Elite, an old school Nemesis player, Kel Cardinal and Tezukako. Pawns flexing with Flight Knight, Speed Demon, and Yukio. Let's get into this right here, right now. As we see the Whelps trying to get the early pressure, Tezukako putting it on, but it does get cleared away by the Pawns. Hell Cardinal's up, he misses his touch. Control and Elite bounces it off of him to get it out. Speed Demon tries to take it off the top of him, but it gets pinched all the way across. Yukio gets the touch. Speed Demon tries off the side while Flight Knight is there to send it down the mid, but Control Alt Elite hits it up, gets the second touch, but doesn't get it on net. Tezu trying in the corner, leaves it up for Flight Knight. Kel Cardinal takes it from him off the backboard, gets the second touch, puts it in front of Pawns' net. Speed Demon's there, but he can't stop Control as he comes in and gets the goal.
Yeah, Cardinal with a great center there, and like you said, Speed just wasn't quite able to get up in time, and Control was able to take advantage of that, putting it in the back of Pond's net for the early 1-goal lead.
And that's exactly where you want to be if you are the Whelps, taking the first goal of the night in under a minute of the game. Flight Night out of his own corner. We see a double from the Whelps. Speed gets the block there and the save. Speed flicks it up, tries to get it past Control, but he can't. Control pops it. Flight Night trying to clean it up, but his shot gets blocked by Kel. Speed keeping the pressure for Pawns. Speed taking it slow, trying to get it in front of Whelps' net. Kel Cardinal blocks him. Control at Elite tries to get it cleared out, but Yukio gets a shot. It's going to go wide there. Kel trying to follow. Gets messed up by Flight Knight's touch. Flight Knight trying to put a wrench into it. Speed Demon gets blocked. Flight Knight off of the sidewall to send it down. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Whelps still unanswered here, Matt. Pawns just not able to get anything going.
Yeah, that early goal for the Whelps might put them up top here. It's still early as the Pawns had another chance. They're not quite able to get the goal. But so far, the Pawns have been putting on decent pressure. They've been putting shots on net. Just the Whelps have been doing a great job to clear the ball out and get the saves.
And Control trying to get a bar down skis. It's going to bounce almost in, but it does get cleared away. Speed Demon getting the Savior medal, and Flight Knight getting the boom on Tezu. But it does, Whelps do manage to make the stop on the play. Speed Demon in the corner trying to get it in front of the net. Tezu with the clear sends it all the way down. Yukio trying to follow. Control gets the touch to his own backboard. Kel Cardinal takes it, bounces off the top. Speed Demon takes it from him. Tezu gets the clear. It's a pinch and it goes flying all the way back to Pond's corner. Control's up. Control does find the touch, but Yukio able to get in front of it. So he's not able to get a goal off of it. 2 minutes left on the clock now. This game over, halfway over here, Matt. Whelps still unanswered.
Yeah, like I said, the Whelps goal could be the only goal here in this game, but the Pawns have had some chances here. The Whelps have just played some good defense, and they've been able to keep it off their side as Speed almost gets another chance there for the Pawns. The Pawns just keep putting shots on, but the Whelps just keep clearing it out, and it's hard for them to score.
That, and whenever they don't get a shot on net, it typically is hitting the post. I feel like they've hit the post as many times as they've been able to actually put a shot on the net here, which is quite unfortunate if you're on the Pawns. Flight Knight missing his touch, but he doesn't need to, as the ball wasn't going in the net. Control Elite, leaving it for Tezu. Tez trying to follow it, waiting patiently, gets it off the backboard. Speed Demon's there to bat it away. 1 minute remaining now. Whelps still up by 1. Yukio in his own defensive zone. Control takes it from him. Tez trying to follow, but Speed Demon able to get it out. Speed Demon missing his touch. Kel Cardinal gets another one to get it through the defense, but Flight Knight's ready. Nobody from Whelps there to capitalize on the mistake. Tez trying to get it, but it does get 50 by Pawns. That's a boomer. It's sent down. It's off the backboard. Somebody from Pawns there. Speed is, and he's going to finally find the back of the net.
And there you go. He's able to put it in the back of the net like you said, and that's going to tie this game up with only 30 seconds left. They just kept putting shots on constantly. The Whelps were able to clear it out, able to save it, able to just do whatever they could to keep it out of their net. And finally, for the Pawns, it just, in their advantage here, they're able to finally put one in the back of the net and tie this game up here very late.
Now if Pawns are able to hold it down for the next 18 seconds, they can send this game 1 into an overtime. Speed Demon trying to end the game with a win in the last 10 seconds, but missing his shot. Flight Knight not able to get it through the defense. Yukio missing his touch as well, As the ball gets sent back to Pawns, this is pretty much going to go down. Oh no! Tezu Kako comes in with the final second goal to secure the win for the Whelps.
The walk-off goal by Tezu Kako. And it just seems like Speed's his mistouch, not quite able to score the open net there. It's going to turn around and bite Pawns, and it seems as it has, as the Whelps are going to end up coming out on top. And that's going to be very unfortunate for Pawns, speaking they were that close to the win, but it just didn't come out in their favor.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest feels bad man moments I've seen on stream in a little while. As wow, that's just not what you want to happen. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. It's completely demoralizing. I'm speechless. I'm feeling for the Pawns right now because I've been in that situation before, and it's hard to get your mind back into a good place after something like that.
Yeah, but they're just going to need to shake that off. They're going to need to come back in this game 2 and keep firing at the Whelps net as they did here with 6 shots. Whelps with 7, so able to one-up them there, and it looks like that one extra shot's going to put them up on top in the final score. But if the Pawns are able to come out firing again in this game 2, they're going to be able to have a great chance to tie the series up.
And I certainly hope they are, just for the sake of the content, because if they lose here in game 2, that means Whelps are in game point position, and that puts Pawns in the position to go home and end the rest of their season. But we'll see if Pawns are able to dig themselves out of the dirt from that last loss and make up for it here. Speed Demon in the corner trying to get it in front of the net, but Tez able to make the stop there. Tez flicks it past Yukio. Tez is going to follow. Tries to get the fake on Flight Knight, but Flight Knight gets the touch. Kale Cardinal sends it over Speed Demon. This could be dangerous. Yukio going to send it away from his net. Flight Knight gets the touch, but Control keeps the pressure for Whelps. Yukio sends it to the mid. Kale Cardinal's there. His shot goes wide. Speed Demon pops it up. Yukio sends it into his own corner as the Pawns reel from this attack from the Whelps right now. Control Alt Elite trying to get it, but it's gonna go wide, hit the post as Speed Demon scrambles to get it out of his own defensive territory, and they finally are able to, after almost what seemed like, Matt, a complete minute of sustained pressure from the Whelps.
Yeah, and the Pawns got lucky. They had a few double commits there, and the Whelps just weren't able to take advantage of it and get any goals. But if the Pawns are going to want to clean this series up and tie it up, then they're not going to be able to have stuff like that, as Speed's able to put it in the back of their net, giving them the 1-goal lead.
And the pass play comes out as Flight Knight is able to get that touch. Speed Demon just in perfect place to get it behind the defender there, securing the first goal for the Pawns, giving them the lead in game 2. 3 minutes 33 seconds left on the clock. It's all in the number 3, as some people do believe. Flight Knight sends it out to the mid. Speed Demon's there, and he clangs it in.
And there you go. 2 goals by Speed and 2 assists by Flight in about 10 seconds. Or 9 seconds if you want to be exact. I mean, that is great offensive possessions by the Pawns, and they're able to get a 2-goal lead here. Still 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. A ton of time for the Whelps to make the comeback, but they're going to need to get something started.
Well, speaking of that, you know that they only need a couple of seconds to make a goal, as they demonstrated at the end of game 1, able to secure that final goal in the final second, with Tezu Kako getting control over it and getting the win for the Whelps. But we'll have to see if the Pawns are able to keep their lead in the remaining 3 minutes of game 2. So the ball gets sent down off of Whelps' backboard. Speed Demon's there, but he misses. Yukio gets a soft touch. Kel Cardinal sends it up, but Tezu Kako sends it out. Flight Knight flicking it past Tez. Control Alt Delete to send it back down, keeping the pressure for the Whelps. Speed Demon trying to clear it out for Pawns. Yukio getting the second touch, but Control there for the stop. Whelps gonna double commit on the defense there, but it's gonna work out for him. Speed Demon able to beat Kale to the ball there. Flight Knight trying to set up another one for Speed Demon to get sit down by Tez. Speed is there, but his shot goes wide, and we are down to our 2-minute marker in game 2. Pawns still up by 2 here, Matt, and I'm wondering if game 1 wasn't a fluke or if Pawns are just playing much better than they did in the first game.
And the Pawns, they didn't play, I wouldn't say they played bad the first game, but, and there you go, Yukio able to get their 3rd goal, still 1:46 left.
And that is exactly what you love to see if you're a Pawns fan, as Yukio is finally able to come out of his shell and put yet another dagger into the side of the Whelps, securing a 3-goal lead for the Pawns here. They've pretty much all but wrapped this up, though there is a lot of time left, and we know the Whelps are dangerous. There you have it, Speed Demon getting his hat trick in game 2, the first one for him.
Yeah, Speed with his hat trick, Flight with all 3 assists to Speed's 3 goals. And I was going to say it was looking like a Speed and Flight show, but then Yukio came out of nowhere with his goal. So it's just the ball and the goals are just spreading all around for him.
And the Pawns are just playing really well in game 2, and they might have the Whelps shook here. Whelps going to have to try a different approach coming into game 3 if they're not able to make a comeback here as we reach the final minute of regulation play. Tez makes the stop, but he's not able to recover well enough to follow. Speed Demon sends it all the way down. Pawns know they only have to basically play keep away at this point, but still trying to get some shots on net. The bigger goal lead, the better you are, especially in the stat books. Flight Knight trying to get it, but can't. Gets above the ball and doesn't find the touch he's looking for. Kel Cardinal all the time in the world, but he does have to 50 with Yukio there. Tezu coming off the ceiling, not able to find the touch. Control sends it down. Flight Knight pops it up, tries to follow, but can't beat Control in the midfield. Kel Cardinal sends it down to Yukio. Yukio pops it to the mid. Tezukako sends it to the side. Control trying to pick it up from him. He does. He gets it past Flight Knight. We'll see Control try to follow here, but Yukio gonna bash it down off of his own backboard. Speed Demon gets a save off Tez's fastball. Flight Knight sends it out the last 5 seconds here. Game all but lost for the Whelps. Pawns gonna take it in game 2 here, Matt, and I gotta say, Whelps probably they might need to put a little bit of respect on Pawns' name.
Yeah, and it seems like both teams now have a game they need to forget about. The Pawns, with their missed opportunity in game 1, gives Whelps the win, and the Whelps just not quite able to sneak anything past the Pawns defense here in this game 2. But the Pawns, I mean, if they're able to play like this throughout the whole series, they're going to have a great chance to come out on top. But the Whelps still a great team, so it's going to be tough for both teams here.
I agree. If the Whelps are able to play the way that they did in the first minute of this game, they should be able to pick at least one more win up here tonight, because that first minute, if you remember, was just unbridled aggression from them, and they were only able to get 2 shots on net during that offensive pressure. But keeping the pressure is more important than getting a mass amount of shots. As long as you can keep the offensive pressure on the team, eventually they'll make a mistake, and you'll be able to score an easy goal.
Yeah, and the more pressure you put on, the more pressure it puts on the defense, honestly, with them having to make the plays. Because if you're just sending the ball down on their side, you don't have to do much with it. You just need them to make a mistake, and that's when you're going to be able to capitalize and get yourself a goal.
And here we are starting off in game 3. The series now tied 1-1. So we'll have to see which team, Pawns or Whelps, is able to get the win here in game 3 and get the advantage in the series. This is definitely, arguably, one of the more important games in the series, barring Game 5. Speed Demon getting in front of that. Tez gets the touch, but I couldn't tell if he got a save there or if Tez's touch just went extremely wide. Control missing his touch, but Tez is still there. Flight Knight takes it from him. Flight Knight trying to come out of the corner, but Control gonna clear it away. Control and Tez going after the same ball. Speed Demon coming in, getting the flick, and the first goal for Pawns.
Yeah, Speed able to get that ball up in the air, able to just pop it over. Not quite sure who that was. I think it could have been Control Alt Elite, but just a great flick there by Speed, and it's going to put him on top here. Not even a minute in, which is great if you're a Pawns fan or if you are the Pawns. This is the position you want to be in to be able to take this Game 3.
And it seems as though Pawns is going to keep the momentum and keep the pressure from that goal as they are laying it down hot and heavy right now. Kel Cardinal trying to get it out, but another shot's going to go on. Flight Knight going to secure the second goal for Pawns.
Yeah, 20 seconds later, another goal for the Pawns. Just a great shot by Flight, and the Whelps defense, their goaltending just not able to clear that ball out like they wanted. A little bit of a double commit on that ball, and it goes into their back of their net. Unfortunate for them.
Two defenders not able to stop that shot, and oh my gosh, Kel with the early answer, and he's going to cut the lead in half.
Kel able to 50 speed there, and I believe that was Yu-Gi-Oh! Who wasn't able to quite get the touch he wanted. Nothing much you can do there as he absolutely just like banged that ball and just really quick off of Yu-Gi-Oh's car, and it's going to go in the back of their net, cutting this lead to just 1. And Control Alt Elite's going to be able to tie this game up here.
Yeah, Control Alt Elite taking advantage of a midfield ball, getting control of it, getting the touch to get it past the Pawns defense as they were pushed just a little bit too far. I'm not expecting Whelps to make a counter play like that, but Whelps did, and they tied us up here in Game 3. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Still anybody's game at this point. Pawns taking the early lead, but Whelps showing them that they are not done here yet. Kel not finding the touch he's looking for. Flight Knight's going to take control of it. Flight Knight in the midfield trying to get it through. He gets the pop to the mid. Speed's there, but Tez is as well. Finds the 50, gets the block. And Pawns have to restart on their offensive press. Speed Demon not able to get the touch he's looking for. His Control sends it out to the mid. Tez going to get beat by Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed back down to Yu-Gi-Oh! He sends it up. Flight Knight doubles, and Flight Knight is able to get back in time to get a touch and break up Whelps' counterattack just a little bit there as we reach the halfway point on this game, Matt. It looks to me as though Pawns still seem to be having the edge in the offensive department.
Yeah, the Pawns playing like they did there in Game 2, here in Game 3. But the Whelps, they are looking like the team they were in the first minute of Game 2. So if they're able to keep this up, I think they could get 3 straight unanswered goals here, as they're going to have the chance, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be able to get the clear.
And what a booming clear came from Yu-Gi-Oh! Right there, sending it all the way back down, almost setting up a counterattack. Yu-Gi-Oh! Hitting the crossbar, not able to get it in. The ball is floating in front of the Whelps net. Nobody able to clear it out. Pawns with a dropped opportunity as Whelps finally able to clear that ball. Tez putting it off the backboard, but he's going to leave it. Speed Demon missing his touch off the backboard. Flight Knight there to keep it out in front of his net. Flight Knight going to leave it for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Sending it to the corner, but doesn't follow. Nobody from Whelps there to challenge. Yu-Gi-Oh! Finally able to get it through. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trying to get another touch. Kel Cardinal pops it up. Tez sends it all the way out to the midfield. Tez gets the 50. It goes in his favor. This is in Pawns' defensive zone. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sends it to the side. Kel Cardinal off the backboard. Somebody from Whelps. Nobody is ready for that. Tez bounces it off his own backboard. The double commit from Pawns comes out. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays it slow. Tez almost getting the ball past him, but just narrowly missing his second touch. And the ball gets sent all the way back down. Speed Demon's going to find yet another cross from Flight Knight.
Yeah, Flight Knight just a bunch of assists so far this series. Only game 3, and I believe he's up to 5, might be 6. And Speed Demon just able to finish basically all of his passes. And I think those two, as of right now, might be the main reason that Pawns could come out on top here.
I could not agree more. Flight Knight and Speed Demon seemingly telepathically linked right now. They're probably not even using comms. They're just reading each other's thoughts and going through each other's brains. They are just finding everything, and they have been able to turn this series into their advantage. Flight Knight just gonna do it to both of the defenders and sink yet another goal.
Yeah, Flight's just going to be able to carry it under control alt elite as he gets the double jump. And I'm not sure he meant to get that jump that quickly. And he's not quite able to get the touch. And Flight's able to just carry it right underneath him, giving them the 2-goal lead with under 30 seconds now.
And it's seeming that Pawns has found their stride, as they're going to sink another. Yukio getting the sniper goal from his defensive zone.
Yukio with just the full field clear, able to put it on target. That puts him up 3 now with 18 seconds, and I think it's pretty safe to say that the Pawns just basically finished this game out here. Still got to try and waste some time, but it's going to be very tough for the Whelps to get 3 goals.
Especially in 10 seconds. I wouldn't say it's mathematically impossible, but if they don't score it right now, it is. And that is pretty much gonna do it, as Pawns are gonna take game 3, giving them the advantage in this best of 5 series. It is now 2-1 in favor of Pawns.
Yeah, and I think this is a different Pawns team that than we saw in that game 1 that have played in this past game 2 and 3. They just came out firing 9 goals between this game and game 2, outscoring the Whelps. I believe that is 9-2 here with the +7 goal differential, which that's pretty dominant by the Pawns here. And if they're able to do that once again here in game 4, I believe this game or this series could possibly be over.
You could very well be right there, but I'd like to point out that every single game except for game 2, I believe, was Whelps had just as many shots, and I think in game 1 they had more shots than the Pawns. So I don't know, Pawns could have that snowball pressure right now, but I think that sleeping on Whelps would be not the move.
Yeah, and the Whelps, I mean, it's been a very close game. I think the games have been tied within the last minute games 1 and 3, as we saw that last second goal by the Whelps in game 1, and then just the Pawns popping off there at the end of game 3, which is going to put them out on top. But if the Whelps play like they're capable here, anything's possible. Probably heading to a game 5 as Tez is able to lay it in.
And there you have it, Whelps scoring the first goal in game 4. Getting the early lead for the Whelps. Tez getting, I don't think that's his first goal of the night, but I don't think that he's had very many. So he's going to get another one for that stat card. Kel trying to get it out, but Yukio sends it down, and the unfortunate mistouch and own goal comes out.
Yeah, great, I would say kind of a pass downfield. And I think that might have been Control Alt Elite, who doesn't get the touch he quite wants, and he basically redirects it into his own net. Very unfortunate for Whelps, but that's going to tie the game up in the first 30 seconds.
That it is, and Flight Knight almost able to get a second goal for the Pawns there, but Control Alt Elite exhibiting some good defense as he touches it in the corner, gets it down to Tez. Tez can't get it through Yukio, though, and that was almost dangerous, as the Pawns almost got a big counterattack right there. Luckily, Whelps, defensively sound, stayed back, made the save. as Flight Knight sends it down but loses control of the ball. Tez tries to take control, misses his touch off the side. Yukio awkward as he wasn't expecting that. Him and Speed Demon gonna double commit, but they're not gonna get punished. The ball gets sent, touchdown in front of Whelps' net. That was dangerous, but Control Alt Elite able to get it out before Pawns could get it in. Control Alt Elite pinches all the way back out to the mid. Kale tries to take a long shot, but Speed Demon makes the saving touch. The Speed Demon follows it up the side, comes off the wall, but it looked like he was out of juice. Control Alt Elite took it from him and put one on net. Yukio with the save there, getting his savior medal. And oh my goodness, Control Alt Elite gonna find another one. Bar down skis.
Control Alt Elite with just a great positioned shot, able to get it over the Pawns goaltender, and they're gonna get the 2-1 lead. And if the Whelps are gonna want to keep this lead as they need to continue the series, I think they're gonna have to clean up. I guess you could say their sloppy touches that they've had 2 to 3 this game, I believe, as the Pawns just weren't able to capitalize on it. But eventually, I think they will.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. 3 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for Pawns to make a comeback as they're only down by 1. That was almost it. But Whelps able to send it away from the goal line. Yukio trying to fall it off the sidewall. He isn't able to, as Tez is going to put a heater on, but Flight Knight back to make the stop. Flight Knight trying to follow it out of the corner. He's not going to be able to, as Kale's going to send it away. Kale's going to get 50'd by Speed, but Tez is able to get control of it. Flight Knight sends it out of his own corner. The mistouch comes out from the Whelps again, but nobody from Pawns there to follow the ball. Yukio trying to get a shot, but it does get blocked immediately by the Whelps defense. Flight Knight putting it off the backboard. The triple commit comes out, and Speed Demon has an empty net to shoot at.
A communication error as all 3 of them go up for that, and that's just going to leave an open net for Speed, and especially Speed, Flight, Yukio, anybody on the Pawns, I guess you could say. Like, you cannot leave them with an open net, or else 99 out of 100 times they will most likely score that.
Yes, I think that they will, and looks like panic ensues on the Whelps sideline. And with that just complete mishap of a play, allowing the Pawns to tie the game up. Minute 43 seconds left on the clock now. Flight Knight playing the bully, just trying to keep it away from him, keep the pressure in Pawns' favor. Control missing his touch, but Kel there gonna try and follow it in the corner. Speed Demon sends it out. Tez putting one just a little high, bouncing off the backboard, but he has been pretty dangerous with his shots so far in this game, Matt. It seems like every time he puts one on, it's just an absolute heater.
Yeah, he basically missiles every ball that he shoots, and the Pawns have done a great job as you have a goal there by Flight, putting the Pawns up 1 with 1:04 left. Caster's curse.
Oh my goodness, and I would say what another pass play coming out, but it was an unfortunate touch from the Whelps that caused that ball to fly to the mid. Flight Knight, just with good awareness and quick reflexes, able to make the touch and send it through 2 of Whelps defenders. Less than a minute now left on the clock, and Pawns in position to take this entire series if they win here, and that will move them forward to the lower bracket final, where they will play against Aurora on Saturday. Whelps will be going home in that scenario, but this is the last 30 seconds. Whelps still have plenty of time to put it on. We've seen that they only need a few, and there it is. Kel Cardinal gonna find it and tie this up.
Not quite the touch that Speed wanted, and Control's gonna take advantage of that, passing it center to Kel. And there you have it. We are back to a tie game for, I believe, the 3rd time here in this game 4.
I don't know what witchcraft that was. That shot found a lane that was seemingly invisible through all three defenders. Yukio putting the final one on. Tez able to get in front of that one and make the stop as Speed came in to drill it, but it got sent away. The last 5 seconds here, Control putting it on, but it goes high, and it looks like we have on our hands here, Matt, an overtime for Game 4.
Honestly, this game has just gone back and forth. I'm not sure who has the advantage here. Both teams putting on some great pressure, but it just doesn't seem like the Whelps have gotten as many saves as Speed is going to win it for the Pawns, and they will be moving on.
And what a mistouch. Yet again, the Whelps are unable to get the defensive touch that they need, sending the ball back towards their net. Speed Demon there, the speedy demon that he is, showing up to take advantage and send the Pawns into the lower bracket finals game on Saturday. Congratulations out to the Pawns. Whelps, unfortunately, gonna have to go home for the rest of their season. Ends here tonight, and hopefully they're able to find out what the deal is in the offseason and make a comeback in the next season.
Yeah, a very unfortunate loss for the Whelps. I think they played very solid throughout this whole series. Unfortunately, didn't go their way. I'd say a few like mistouches or mistakes, honestly, may have put the Pawns up on top here. But other than that, the Whelps played very solid, and they have nothing to be, I would say, like, they have nothing to hang their heads about. I mean, just greatly played by both teams. The Pawns just outplayed them by a very slim amount.
True, that was probably a poor choice of words, so I apologize if I offended anybody. However, that was not my intention. Whelps just having to go home. It's unfortunate, but as you said, they did play some really good Rocket League, taking the first game, almost able to take game 4 there, sending us into a game 5. Just the unfortunate mishap that came out right there in overtime, as they normally do. That seems to be the trend in Rocket League. You try so hard and get so far, but in the end,
the Pawns able to come out on top, I guess. I think that'll wrap it up here for this Novice League play-in game for the 9 and 10. If Psycho, you have anything to say?
yeah, I definitely want to talk a little bit about what we're going to be moving into. I think we've got kind of a big um, break ahead of us, bigger than what we normally like to do, because unfortunately we had to reschedule one of the matches to be played off of stream later on, due to some personal scheduling issues. But we're definitely, oh, okay. I was just told by the eye in the sky, we're not going to be taking a short break. We're actually going to be ending the stream here, and then we're going to be picking it back up with our match later on, which is 10:15 Eastern time. Um, you don't want to miss that one. Whenever we do come back to it, it's going to be, I don't even know, because the schedule's changed, so I'm not sure which teams are playing. I apologize. But yeah, we're going to take a break. We're going to end the stream here. Hopefully, everybody can go do what they need to do and then make a comeback for our final match of the night. That's pretty much going to be it for me. I appreciate you having me, Matt. I appreciate you joining me here tonight in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. Hope everyone watching enjoyed it. A great fight between the two teams. Just didn't come out in the Whelps way, and the Pawns are going to end up advancing to face Aurora in the lower bracket finals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, I appreciate everybody coming out and giving us your support. I don't have my Twitch chat up, so if anybody subbed while I was casting, shout out to you. You did a great job. If not, shame on you. Sub, come join the Discord, get on a team for next season. Have a good night. Come back in like roughly an hour, 45 minutes for our next match. Thank you.